welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about what autism is and how it affects people with autism. Because that makes sense. I don't know. I'm keeping that in there though. So, autism is a neurological developmental delay that causes the brain to develop differently than a neurotypical brain. So basically it's characterized in really bad social skills and repetitive behaviors. So normally signs start appearing around 18 months to 24 months old. And babies can hit all of their milestones perfectly fine until that time period. Then they either start to lose things that they learned, or they don't gain any new skills, or it's very hard for them to gain new skills. So most autistic people have speech problems and have to go to speech therapy. And they also don't understand social skills, so they don't understand social interaction. They don't understand what's appropriate and what's not appropriate to say. They don't understand social cues. They don't understand body language. They don't know how to make friends or keep friends. And that's all things that they have to kind of be taught instead of just knowing. Also, they have repetitive behaviors, meaning sometimes it's like stims, moving their hands a certain way, or it is like saying something over and over again. It just depends. Or turning on and off a light. It really just depends on the person. Another thing that autistic people have is special interest. Special interests are interests that an autistic person is really interested in. So it can be anything from a small amount of interest to obsessive interest. It just depends on the person. Autism is a spectrum disorder, so it is called autism spectrum disorder. And people can be, can have a lot of the symptoms or very few of the symptoms. Some autistics are independent, while others have to have 24-hour care in a group home. It really just depends. There's also a lot of comorbidities with autism that makes it harder to live with. Another characteristic of autism is meltdowns, which is when an autistic person is really overwhelmed and doesn't know how to self-regulate. So they will start screaming and hitting themselves or banging their head trying to self-regulate. It's not a temper tantrum. It is completely different. It is them trying to self-regulate because they don't know any other way to, and they don't understand what's happening, because as an autistic person, it is very, very hard to think when you're in a meltdown. You just kind of scream whatever comes to your mind. And another part of autism is very strict routine. So a lot of autistics are very, very, very into routines. So for example, I get up around the same time every day. I go to bed around the same time every day. And if mom's late from coming home from work, I call her 500 million times thinking that she died. So autistics are very strict with routine, and if their routine changes, it will cause a meltdown. Or if someone tells me that something's gonna happen and then it doesn't, it causes a meltdown. Or if there's a surprise I didn't know about, it causes a meltdown because I wasn't expecting it, so it wasn't in my plan for that day. Because autistics tend to plan their day by the minute, literally down to the minute if they're doing things. So routine is very important. Autistics also have very black and white thinking. There's no gray area with autistics. It's all or nothing thinking. So if someone says yes, it's yes. If someone says no, it's no. And if that answer changes, they get very confused and have a meltdown. At least I do. And I know other autistic people who are the same way. Another thing is poor impulse control, which means if I'm thinking something, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to filter what I'm saying because I don't know how. So that's a whole thing that sometimes lands in awkward situation where mom goes, she's autistic. Because I just ask questions and I don't know what is appropriate and what's not. So there's also things where I randomly scream or I randomly start singing a song about Beast because of poor impulse control. And that's all part of autism. So there's a lot of different characteristics of autism. In the next video or in a later video, I'm not quite sure what tomorrow's video is going to be, but in a later video, I will tell you how autism specifically affects my life, and how it makes my life harder. So, yeah. Thank you, like and subscribe.